Okay, so we are looking at the zero product property. So here's what the zero product property says, and it should kind of make sense to it. If I told you I'm thinking of some number, let's just call that number A. You don't know what the number is. And then I told you that I'm multiplying it by some number B. And we know that product is 0. So I have some number A, I have some number B, that product is 0. What can you for sure tell me about either A or B? What can you for sure tell me?
It equals 0.
One of them has to be equal to 0. We don't know which one, right? But would you guys agree with me? One of them has to equal 0 because they're put together through multiplication. Anytime you multiply something by 0, you get 0. If I told you, if I extended that, if I said A times B times C times D equals 0, what would you tell me about either A, B, C, or D? One of them has to equal 0. Absolutely. That's what the zero product property tells us. Now be careful. That works for multiplication. We can't use that for addition, right? I think would you guys agree with me? If I gave you A plus B and said it equals 0, it could be that one of them equals 0, or maybe even both of them equal 0. But it could be that one equals 4 and the other one equals -4, right? So the zero product, it's called the zero product property, product being multiplication. So let's see how it works in action. Let's get down example 1A. Okay, so we have two things being multiplied and they equal 0. That's important. Their product equals 0. If they equal 4, then we can't use this property because it's specifically 0 is called out. So what we have here is we have something times something equals 0, which means either the first something has to be equal to 0, right? Because if 2x equals 0, then I get 0 times x minus 4. That's got to be equal to 0. Or x minus 4 equals 0. Then we solve for x. So in the first one, we get x equals 0. In the second one, we get x equals 4. And we can check it. See if you agree with me. If I take 0 and plug it in for x, I'm going to get 2 times 0 times 0 minus 4, which is 0 times -4, which is 0. True. If I plug in 4, I get 2 times 4 times 4 minus 4, which equals 8 times 0, which equals 0. Okay, so that's what the zero product property says. If we have two things put together through multiplication, then either the first or the second equals whatever has to be equal to 0. Yes?
On the test, do you have to write down both answers?
Yes. So the question was asked on the test, would you need to write down both answers? And the answer is yes. The reason is we usually need to find both of them because we use these for different things. So one of the things that we will do later on is we are going to use both of these numbers for graphing. They're going to tell us where a graph crosses the x-axis, and we need both of them because it's going to cross in two different places. So yes, we do need both of them. Or if there were 10 things put together, we would need all 10. Okay, however many places they can be equal to 0, we need to find them. Why don't you guys try B, see how you do. Oh, actually, they said the person's not here. They said not to there. I guess the person's not here. The photo person's not here yet. Okay, let's see what we got. So in this case, I've got something, x minus 3 times something else, x minus 9 equals 0. So by the zero product property, that must mean that either x minus 3 equals 0, or x minus 9 equals 0. So in this case, we get two answers, x equals 3, x equals 9. Just to note, we use the word or here because that would make either of these situations correct, but recognize later on we're going to be talking about roots and things like that. Again, both answers are, whoops, that's not a 9. Both answers are important and we need to show both of them. Okay, any questions on that?